Hello, hello everybody. Welcome to the weekly messages for December 11th to the 17th of 2018. And let's just go ahead. I'm going to pull some oracle cards. Say hello in the comments section if you're hopping on or if you're watching the replay on YouTube. I'm just going to get these oracle cards out. And then I also want to let you know that sign-specific readings come out every Friday on Patreon, so you can kind of prep for the week ahead and watch your sun, moon, and rising and whatever else you want. So I will include the link somewhere on the YouTube screen if you want to check that out. Okay. So let's see what we have coming up first. First thing this week is wisdom. So a lot of information coming through, a lot of... Sorry, I'm reading comments. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello. I missed you guys too. I've just had to put out a lot of videos. Like, I'm putting out 36 videos this month, so it's a lot. It's a lot of work. But yes, wisdom is like the downloads that you're receiving. That's what I'm getting here. So pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to your intuitive hits, pay attention to things that are coming up for you because they have information in them. So just something to be aware of and notice this week. There's not a lot that you're going to be doing with this. It's more of just receiving it. And then the animal card is elk. So this looks like charging ahead, looking toward this is very much a 2019 prep card. This is like looking at what you have coming up, what you need to do, what you need to take care of, what you're manifesting. And so I think that this energy is just kind of continuing collectively. And don't forget that the new year is a good time to take advantage of intentions because it's like a collective reset button. So don't bite off more than you can chew, but build off of what you would like to reconstruct. That's kind of what's happening here. And then we also have the sheep who wandered and found a different shepherd. So the answers that you're looking for might come from somewhere unexpected, or opportunities might be unexpected. This is kind of like the things that don't go well are really in service of you. So don't forget that this week, especially if something isn't going your way, if something seems like it's just frustrating you or not panning out, remember that it's probably because there's something better in the works for you or something else is going on. Okay. This is like a hindsight is 2020 card. And then I'm just keeping it simple for myself this week. I'm just going to do a Celtic cross. And then I guess I should ask you, if you're watching, this is not for you if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching live on Facebook right now, do you want me to do a 3-card pick with an oracle deck or with a tarot deck? Let me know at the end, because I forgot to pick one out before I started this, but I have a whole bunch around if you guys want to add your input. Okay, and then the outcome for the week. Let's get started. The central energy for you this week is 4 of Wands. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Love it. Really warm and nurturing. This looks really sweet and loving. So maybe you're spending time with family if you happen to have a nice, healthy, loving family. You know, good for you if you have one of those. Otherwise, it's going to be a great week to nest, take care of yourself, clean the house, cook yummy meals, like just really get into that nesting mode. And that seems like it's going to be really nurturing for you. So you might also find that you have a lot of stuff to do. It just looks like there's a lot going on at home. So let's see what the crossing energy is. We have the star, beautiful, another nice card to have pop up here. So Four of Wands and the star, it's like everything is kind of working out, but it also looks like this week is going to be particularly slow. Try to be patient with yourself and with situations that are kind of floating around right now. I wouldn't recommend trying to rush or force anything. That's not going to be a good tactic. This is super feminine energy, super, super, super feminine. So just make sure that you're keeping that in mind, because it's going to be really helpful riding that energy out rather than trying to force more of the masculine on top of it, because it's kind of like trying to put a square block through a round hole, if that makes sense. That it just isn't going to move as quickly as you would expect. So this is a good time. I would treat it kind of like a Mercury retrograde energy, where you want to go through with the fine-tooth comb, review, see what you can adjust, backtrack a little bit, adjust your plans. If you've already done something as far as manifestation or intention setting, go back. Are there any modifications you need to make? Oh, this brings me to another point. Okay, so if you are going to be doing any type of manifesting for 2019, please remember that it's very important that you go back and update your manifestations. And I know that not very many people talk about that, but I just really want to emphasize that, because you might need to go back to the drawing board. Just don't forget that that's also a part of the process, because you want to stay in touch with it and in tune to the energies that you're asking for. So just a tip on that. Now let's see what's shifting out for you. We have the Six of Cups. I'm going to clarify this. It's kind of a funky Six of Cups card, so the Hermit. Okay, this might be that sleepiness energy that I'm getting, because this is like nostalgia. Maybe you're reflecting a lot. There's a lot of inner child stuff coming up here. So I think there's like a big purge happening, and this is what's helping you move forward and gain more momentum, is through letting this go a little bit. It doesn't mean none of this information is forgotten. It's just that you're not falling into the picture of the past or nostalgia or childhood things that have popped up. And so there was like this incubation happening. And so now it's more of the implementation of kind of the comforts that you want to experience, more of the physical. You're matching it to the physical. That's what the Four of Wands and the Star is about, but it still looks like it's slowly working up to it. Okay, so the oncoming energy is the Empress, more feminine energy. I tell you, attraction is going to be really beneficial at this time. Manifestation and the energetic side of things, coupled with action, is the secret recipe. You know, if you're wondering how to actively manifest something, you want to align your thoughts, words, and actions. And so that's kind of where you're prepping all the internal stuff. And then there's going to be a big like bang where you want to take action and, you know, execute. But just make sure they're in balance. And I would also recommend that if you are feeling like you've been doing more of the spiritual side, then maybe figure out a plan. That's what the Four of Wands is really encouraging you to do, on how you can take action. on what you can do physically over the next week or so to kind of push your goals forward. So it might just be planning this week if you're not, if you still have a few things to get in order before executing. So focus on the feminine, and the feminine is like what bolsters you and gives you that support and that background piece to really move forward. Okay, the outward manifestation for you this week is the Page of Swords. So a lot of ideas, a lot of cerebral energy coming through, and that's why you want to make sure that your mindset is really focused and aligned. You don't want to put the cart before the horse and start doing all these things and taking all these actions that are misaligned. That is going to be a mistake this week. You want to make sure you have your mind in the right headspace before you start taking a bunch of action, and really create a map for yourself or some type of structure is going to be really important. That's why I'm saying treat it like a Mercury retrograde for this week. Like the same type of advice will apply to slow down and review and see where you're going. In the subconscious, we have the Hierophant. Structure, 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 order. That's what you're doing. The Four of Wands, in many ways, it's about bringing things together, and there is a certain level of construction that goes along with this card. So the Hierophant is perfect to have sitting underneath it, because it's showing the boundaries that you have, the things and structures and orders that you have for yourself, whether it be a budget, whether it be a career plan, whether it be, any number of things. It could be something familial for you. But boundaries are the secret weapon. Structure, order, routine is the thing to do this week. And then the advice for you, Queen of Wands. Don't be afraid to think about what helps you get your energy back. What I mean by that is the Queen of Wands is really good at figuring out what energizes her, and so that's really what you're able to get this week. You can kind of take inventory. What are you not doing that helps you cultivate more energy, and then you can start taking action on those things for yourself, because that's going to help you execute all the other stuff you're cooking up here. But it does require energy, so make sure your energy reserves are stocked up this week. That's another thing that you can do if you're kind of wondering how to go about your plans, how to go about the things you want to make happen, either at the tail end of the year or if you're prepping for something bigger in 2019. You have to make sure that your energy is high. So it's like a good time for exercise. It's a good time to feed yourself well. It's a good time to take care of your physical body. That is also what's coming up with the Queen of Wands. Okay, now let's see the external influences. Three of Swords. I'll clarify this for you. I know everyone gets scared of this card. Let's see what's coming up. Knight of Arrows. Okay, so this is probably that sticky spot in between all the things you want to do and what's realistic in this moment. I think there's kind of this coming together aspect that just isn't gelling. Like something about this isn't quite working. So you're going to need to navigate and come up with a creative way to problem solve this, which is what the Knight of Arrows or the Knight of this is reading as Wands, so I'm just going to read it as Wands even though I don't remember. It's like you have to release in order to move forward, and something externally is like, okay, you have to stop doing that thing, because this looks like it's something you're actively doing. It's not something that's being done to you or anything that's coming in externally. It's a pattern of yours that kind of needs to be reshaped. this week. And so I think it's just going to highlight, hey, that thing isn't conducive to your long-term plan. So you're going to have to let that go in order to supplement with the thing that's going to push you forward. So I hope that makes sense. But you have to say no to something in order to say yes to another. And remember, if you are making a commitment to yourself, you have to let go of the things that are blocking that commitment, that are hindering you from doing all the things that are just acting as blocks. So a good thing this week would be a stop doing list. What do you need to stop doing? What are the things that are getting in your way? Attitudes, beliefs, actions, all of it listed out, because then it's going to help you feel into the contours of what needs to be adjusted. So this just looks like letting go. Don't let it scare you. And then hopes and fears, we have Ace of Swords. So I think you kind of want to have that sharp, clear mind around where you're going and what you're doing, like that, aha, I've got it. I have a clear path. I know what it is that I'm bringing to the table. I know what it is that I need to do. I know the actions that I need to take. It's the inspiration that you kind of want in all of this. So I'm just getting that there's this one sticky piece where it's like, yep, you're going to have to let all of that garbage go, but the payoff is immense. So remember, it's just a week to take care of yourself, review, outline, create structure, and that can be really uncomfortable because change and personal evolution, they take work, they take effort. It's much easier to slip back into the old patterns, the old behaviors, the old things that you're used to doing. So just remember that that's why the Three of Swords came up. Letting go of any old parts of yourself, even letting go of dysfunction, is really terrifying. So just know that the inspiration is here, the information is here, and you can absolutely trust the tweaks that you're making right now, so long as you keep your big vision in mind. And then the outcome of the week, Ace of Pentacles. So, yep, it's not this week, but next week is when you actually get to plant the seeds. This is when you actually have the energy, you have the wherewithal, you have the framework to operate in, and then plant the seeds, take action, and do all of the legwork. So this is more prep week, and then next week is when you execute. Okay. So now you guys picked tarot, so I have a tarot deck, and we're going to do a 3-card pick now. I know, I use a lot of oracle decks, so tarot it is. And don't forget, you can ask a question, you can, I don't know, ask for guidance, information, whatever it is that you need. And then, as always, you can pick as few or as many cards as you want. This is just for you, so it doesn't really matter what you do with them. I'm just reading them. Okay, card number 1. The High Priestess. Okay, trust. This is actually more about trusting your guides. So maybe your intuition feels a little bit wonky. What I mean by that is it can be really challenging to differentiate old patterns, old beliefs, and intuition. So it takes a while to really decipher the two if you're not already used to doing that. And so I think it's like, you can trust your advisors, you can trust, I'm going to show more on Facebook, you can trust the people around you that you know have your best interest in mind. Okay, so it's like the people that you've just met, probably not a good bet, but people that you absolutely trust, it's kind of like, hear them out. Consider what they have to say. That's one of the tools that you have in your arsenal, and it's something that you can kind of take into consideration with whatever you're needing at this time. Card number 2, we have the Wheel. So you're still in that space of the unknown. And in this space of the unknown, I get so annoyed with the Wheel of Fortune, but the silver lining is that the Wheel of Fortune really lets you breathe into miracles, which no other card really offers. And so that's kind of what this is doing for you, is it's creating that space so that you're able to have an influx of good things, and all the things that you want to have happen are being given room to breathe. So you just want to beware of not filling in all the blanks, not making too many assumptions. And if you have to, just don't give it too much power. If you have to think about something, you can think about it. But do your best to kind of compartmentalize it and say, okay, there's that thought and that assumption that I'm making from this part of myself, but I'm open to something different happening. I'm opening to that old belief system being challenged. And that's how you can kind of adjust the energy. Okay, so this just looks like leave space, leave some room. And then we also have the Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles. So it's all about going back to self-nourishment and taking care of yourself, focusing on your needs. That's what this is looking like. So I would say if you're struggling with something, go back to self-care, go back to basics with, are you taking care of yourself? Are there things in your space that are making you feel chaotic, disorganized, disheveled, are stressed out? Take inventory of those things, and you might find that the answer is just in cleaning something up for yourself, or going back to basics on that. It could be something as simple as like getting more sleep, or making sure your blood sugar doesn't crash, or having an important conversation, getting something off your chest. Those are the types of things that you just go back to basics. All right, my friends, that is all that I have for you this week. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. And don't forget, the sign-specific readings come out on Friday. They're good for the Sunday to Saturday ahead. So that's a good one to check out. I will include my Patreon address if you're watching on YouTube. Otherwise, I've already posted it on Facebook. Don't forget, if you want to work with me one-on-one and get an intuitive counseling session, an energy check, I'm always here for that. All the links are in the description box. And if you want your 2019 reading, I recommend that you put those requests in now, because January gets a little crazy. So that is all on my end. I wish you nothing but the best, everybody. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.